Hello, happy Sunday. Hello, people. What's the deal, yo? I want to share with you some important things that I think hold people down. Now, there are a lot of things that points to the fact that some people are not going to succeed in life. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a curse. You know what they say? Our attitude on a daily becomes a habit, and the habit determines our future. You don't determine your future, your habit on a daily determines your future. So, number one on my list are those who always hide in their comfort zone. They love their parents' house, their friends' house, their old job, etc. Where they don't get to exert any pressure, where they don't get to think on their own, they don't get to be independent. They want to lean on someone or make on other people's resources, like a leech. They're just always afraid they can't make it on their own, therefore they stay stagnated. To make matter worse, some lie they are waiting for God's direction, while some lie that it's not God's time. Quoting Bishop David Oyedepo, every day is God's day. You only have to meet him in his own terms. So you see it? You got to venture, man. You got to venture, man. You got to venture, man. And number two on this big list is people who don't try new things because of the fear of failure. And most times they want everything to look ready before they start off. The journey of 1,000 miles, like they say, begins with a step. Many billionaires in the world would say just that. The poor fool would say, wait till eternity. There's cold out there. There's a lion out there, according to the book of Proverbs. You see it? So there's no excuses. No excuses. Only venture and you come up top. And number three on this list are people who give up easily because the tasks are too challenging. Now, challenges and problems are not problems in themselves, like people say. Now, like what people see them to be. Now, if there is no challenge of sight, God will not create the eye. No challenge of light, reasoning, God will not create the brain. You see now, problems exist for solution and solutions for happiness, joy, and making the world a better place. Now, those challenges are the reasons why people invent new things. Because when challenges come, most alpha males and females, we think finding solution is it and create something new, which other people then pay for. When you create something new, people will be willing to pay for it because they don't want to go through the stress you went through to find that solution. You see that? So number three, people will give up easily because of the task that is before them seem like a big mountain. Now problems are opportunity. And number four, people will complain a lot to the people around them. They never take responsibility. They point at others as reasons for their failures. Have you ever seen a successful man pointing at somebody as reason for their issues? No. They don't. They take it upon themselves as their cross. They believe this is what life has dealt them. So they take up the gauntlet, win, and they are celebrated by irresponsible men as superheroes. You see that? Next on my list are people who do not understand the value of time and they don't value their time. This set of people like to conform to group mentality. They say, everybody in my country, like people in Nigeria, like to come late. At least I still have time. Or, oh, God's time is the best. Now, to shock you, God doesn't live in time. Even on earth, there is coming a time that time itself shall be no more. So, do not let time be your problem. And next on my list are people who are always looking at other people's lives and never working on themselves. Jesus, the greatest teacher and Son of God, said, you are busy looking at a speck in your brother's eye and not paying attention to the log of wood in your own eyes. According to the greatest Chinese philosopher, Confucius, a man will see the misbehavior of others and look into himself and see if he himself has those bad character and traits, and went ahead to silently change it, has become a wise man. Great people are busy working on themselves. They focus on their own faults looking what to correct any negative trait, thereby becoming perfect in the process. And people get them celebrated. And next on my list of those who will not succeed in life are those who do not do things in alignment with their own goals. As a matter of fact, most times they do not have goals. Even if they have, you have to pressure them to follow it. That's if they even know how to achieve it. Their goals are not smart. If you know what I mean, their goals are not smart. Next on my list is a big one. This is really big on this list. They are those who let society dictate their goals and dreams. Nobody knows more than you. Only God. Nobody knows you, more than you. Only God does. So never put your future in any man's hands or decisions. I've seen people deceived by people. They call them maybe their pastors who are most times speaking to their own advantage, and they end up as a major fiasco. People following them end up as major fiasco. So never put your future in anybody's hand. You can put it in God's hand and it will be safe. And next on this big list is people who have self-imposed limitations. They put limit on themselves like, I'm just not good with numbers, or I just think I can't run a successful business. Maybe because they claim to know they are weak by themselves. They think success is only for a particular set of people who are born in particular locations or come from particular families. So success is a hard privilege of a few, according to them. Well, let me let you know. Success is for everyone if you can humble yourself, learn, and listen. Next on this big list are people who do not know how to treat other people and tend to be arrogant most of the time. They tend to have no social IQ, saying things like, well, at least I'm being honest, or this is how I am. You just have to deal with it. That's funny, right? Now, next people who are afraid to voice their opinion. The next set of people are those who are afraid to voice their opinion, or at least type it on a text. They never say what they want out of life, so they give them what they want. Life gives to them what life think is good for them, so they never say what they want. Now, the next big thing on this list are people who seek the easiest way out. They just want to grab an opportunity and hit the big bag, make it rich. They do not believe in building block by block. They believe in get rich quick or one big contract. So any money they have that's not up to $1 million or more is for squander. One day, big money will come. That's their popular mantra. They believe the money for big things can't be saved. They like to shout the loudest amen when the pastor says, you're going to pick a bag of dollar at Lekki Tollgate by Friday. They will shout amen. Now, next on this list, on this big list, is people who readily give up their morals. They readily give up their morals, their principles in exchange for something gratifying. They, because of what they will eat, betray, lie, blackmail, and backbite, not afraid of God. They are false believers. The next on my list are those who never have an opinion about anything. They can't make decisions. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about those who talk or want to be heard for hearing's sake. Those who talk garrulously and never making sense. They are afraid their opinion is not authentic. They don't have solution. Now, let me suggest one good solution to those people who talk without making sense, who don't think their word makes sense, so they're silent. Read a lot these days. Now we have Google University. We have just Google it, the popular term about everything. No time is late to be educated. No matter what your age is, you could be educated. Next are people who do not fight for what they want. People who do not fight for what they want. Most often than not, you hear religious people giving up on projects, telling you it's not the will of God, that's why it didn't work out, it's not the thing I'm destined to do. Let me shock you, God never ignored what you took your time to learn and build for yourself. That's why he asked Moses, what's in your hand, Moses? Moses had his shepherd rod, and God said, okay, stretch that rod to your difficulty. Stretch that rod to the obstacle. And he did, and the way opened. Same way, David uses sling He has been practicing with these slings for years in the jungle, and the sling saved him when he confronted the giant of his life that took him to his throne. Jesus told the disciples, I will make you fishers of men. Now, these guys have been fishers of normal fish. They've already trained themselves about catching fishes. So, hey guys, girls, what's in your hand? Like, I have my own testimony. God told me, Michael, teach. It has changed my life because I've been teaching for a long time. I love to teach, I love to explain, I love to clarify things. And he said, that's what's in your hand, guy. Teach. From that thing, it will take you from greater to greater to greater to greater height. So never look out there, look inward. There's something in your hand. Now, the greatest invention in this life came with a lot of resistance. Some of the greatest inventions in life came with the greatest resistance. Matter of fact, the devil never challenges anything that doesn't make a bright future. Everything that has a bright future will face challenges. So if you face resistance, do not run away. I know a lot of people, young youth of these days, they love the path of least resistance. Go for it. Stay resilient and you're going to win. Stay glued to God and you're going to win. John chapter 15 verse 1 to end will give you a lot of light on that area. Next, those who follow crowd. Next on this list are those who follow the crowd, the bandwagon. They want to be like every other person. God has created everyone uniquely. You have your own fingerprint. You're unique. You're different. You can't be like somebody else. You have to be like yourself. Because the world is waiting for you to arrive. They want to celebrate you. God has something unique for you. That's why He created you different. You don't have to be like your friend, your neighbors, your colleagues, your youth, your generation. Just be yourself. And next on this list are those who make up excuses. They convince themselves that they can't accomplish the things they want to do. And finally, those who engage in useless gossiping. So those are the traits of those who are heading for the rocks. It's time up for me. Once again, my name is Michael Asha Idafi, CEO at Michael Shakosto Center, Lagos, Nigeria. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Do not forget to click the subscriber button and like this video. Many more is coming your way. We'd love to give you the best you can reach for. See you next time. Bye-bye.